amazing. So that's why that I think that format doesn't work.
Today, Virtual Happy Hour 4.0 is kicking off. No, 5.0. Sorry, 5.0. Our first joint cooking event, and I proudly present Christian, the iCargo go-to guy of IBS, is cooking today for us a phenomenal dish, and we have Sintra with us and Marco, and hopefully many more people will join us soon.
We will see. Perhaps they saw the ingredients and they said they wouldn't join us. But anyway, first of all, I start with the white wine I wanted to taste. Every cooking should start with a glass of wine. Actually, I'm drinking. So this is a white wine coming from Rheinhessen. It's a Riesling, but it's called it's called Karl Zuckmeier, and some people might know this guy. He's quite famous. A very famous film called Der Hauptmann von Köpenick, as well as the Devil's General, and these films are based on books or on theater plays. Actually, this guy wrote, Karl Zuckmeier, and they have excellent wines, actually, Riesling, and they have a Chardonnay, but I picked the Riesling because it will be part of the sauce we will do for the salad. So cheers, and that's how I will start. So I prepared most of the things. I've already sent out the pictures. But so what we will do first, actually, is sweet potato. We need to get rid of the skin, so that's quite easy. For Daniel, who can't cook, I will teach it. You just scrape off, actually, the stuff. And while we were doing this, actually, we should already heat up the oven at 200 degrees, which I'm doing now. Because that's the first thing we'll have to do, actually. The main part of the dish is hot or warm sweet potato. So I'm just taking off the skin, making a big mess of it, actually.
Shit, where's the peeler? There it is.
Sure.
So I think Girish has joined.
Yes.
Hello. Peeling and peeling.
Yes, Christian, I have. Good to see you in this costume.
Not a costume, I'm cooking. That's my cooking outfit.
Yeah.
That's actually, that's quite rude.
The next time you are going to meet with Thomas Cook, you can say no problem. We have Christian Cook.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
I think it might be rather difficult to meet with Thomas Cook.
That's a frightening sight.
So I think I know more about cooking than about cargo, so I hope I won't blame myself. So we are nearly done with this.
I can't believe we're doing this. Christian, thanks for that. Thanks for that idea.
Great.
Marco, can you put your camera more in the
I was
focus?
going to say, I can't see what you're actually doing.
We are peeling sweet potatoes at the moment.
I think I could manage that.
Actually, all of us. Sorry.
Even though I'm in sales.
I have invited some more colleagues that next time we have our GSM meet, we don't go in the canteen, you are just cooking for us.
Yeah, no problem. I do a menu for all of you guys.
No, we are a global company. We should actually have people from all continents doing something traditional for the rest of us.
Hey, that would be a great thing where everybody does a dish, and then we have these different country dishes. But this is a fusion dish. This is a mixture between Italian, Asian, and African cuisine, actually.
So what do we do next after peeling the potatoes? Why does it take so long?
Hi, Christine. Good to see you.
Because it's a big potato, that's why I'm doing it at the moment. Can
I go to the next level already? You're way too nice for a chef. Usually chefs tend to be choleric idiots.
I know. Kitchen, although they are absolutely.
Hey, many years ago, I worked in hotels, and as part of my apprenticeship, I ended up working in the kitchen, and language used in the kitchen is different.
Absolutely. So.
It's very rude.
So
That's a polite way of.
Now I'm showing you. I'm cutting up the potato.
So Christine, you are going to add some maple leaf juice to it and to put a bit Canadian taste to it, because Christian is putting it on the German way, of course. You are mute. Christine, you are mute. Yeah.
Here we go. My former manager at Air Canada actually has trees in his backyard that he taps, and had gave me maple syrup last year. Like, you know, Quebec Canadian made maple syrup. It makes a huge difference. Put it in my chili, actually.
I see.
Actually, we will need a bit of.
My oven is ready.
Later.
No. My oven is faster than yours.
Did you already heat your oven?
I haven't had lunch yet. It's reminded me.
Did I do what?
Ram and I were on a call. We haven't had lunch.
200 degrees, basically, and then otherwise it takes too long.
Yeah, we have not yet.
Yeah, we're missing the expert
taste, because we can somehow have a virtual wine tasting, but virtual cooking is still a challenge, because how to get the taste to the remote people.
You have to use your imagination, Daniel.
I see. Cheers.
I will be back. I will cheers you in a minute.
Very good. I think that's a good concept for life.
And then hopefully here's some he did earlier, or we're going to have to watch him fry sweet potatoes for half an hour.
Carl, I thought I'm going to invite you because we have Christine from Quebec joining us for this cooking event. And as you're also Quebecois, I thought it would be interesting for you to also see how a real German is cooking food for us.
So what I'm doing now, I'm basically putting it on a tray to go in the oven. I do some pepper on it and some salt. So where's this?
How about your oven, Christian?
Pardon?
How's your oven doing? Mine is at 200 degrees.
Mine as well. So salt is there. Now it needs some olive oil. Go. So what I'm using, of course, is Italian olive oil, and it's bio.
I'm using Greek olive oil, sorry.
Yeah, you can use Greek olive oil as well.
Is this like a competition between them?
So what we do is
That looks beautiful.
Who can make the worst dish possible?
Awesome.
and off it goes in the oven. I don't need to show that. It's getting too warm. So,
how long?
As soon as it's ready, it's you can't say because it's got different sizes. So usually it's between 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Why is it different sizes?
Well, you chopped them. Why didn't you chop them in equal sizes?
Different size potatoes?
Yeah, the pieces of the potato, basically the chips have different sizes, so it can take differently, but usually it takes about 20 or 25 minutes.
What was the heat on the oven?
200 degrees.
In Fahrenheit?
I don't know in Fahrenheit. You need to calculate that.
Charlie, if you put on your American accent, we can talk Fahrenheit.
Oh,
That British accent of yours.
But didn't Fahrenheit speak German, or was he? Where did he come from?
No.
Fahrenheit can kind of...
So here comes now the main ingredient for our pesto, which is raspberries. Fresh, tasty, sweet.
I see already a potential for improvement. You should have a camera which is following you with the movement, because we are now moving up the belly, and it should somehow move around in the second one, which is filming you from the side.
Hey, this is the first time. We need to improve.
I'm just saying we have room for improvement. So Ram, when we do the virtual Ops 2020, just plan also for cooking events.
Oh yeah. So everybody
They-
can just
They are
scrap.
raspberries, are they?
So that are raspberries, that are fresh raspberries. They were very sweet. I told you to have about 500 grams if you want to have 4 dishes. Usually, since I'm only doing 2 dishes, I have about 300 grams. Use half of it actually for the sauce. The other half you need for the decoration actually of the dish. So that's what we start with. The next ingredient will be a few red peppers. And not to differentiate this with chili, I'm talking about real red pepper or peppercorns they are called. Just a few of them.
So Christine, I
Then we
read
come to the
today
main ingredient.
that Canada is not considering anymore to merge with Air Transat. Is this true?
So
I don't know, but the last I heard is that the
Basil
European
paste.
Union had some reservations about the deal.
Hmm.
The European Union has given itself, to my recollection, a couple more months. And also,
Christian,
when Transat did,
emergency.
when
My
Transport
kids
Canada
ate the
did their
raspberries.
evaluation, they also had given themselves till about May.
Then you have to switch to a normal pesto basically. If you
Jose,
don't have any,
welcome to our virtual happy hour.
Wie bitte?
No, I'm talking to Jose, who is also based in Montreal. He's from our Montreal office.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Cannot complain. We have Christine, formerly working for Air Canada, also based in Montreal.
Yes, freshly on the job market. It's been a week.
so you took the
Oh,
package.
you just
Like
hired
offer.
at,
I
yeah.
didn't so much take the package as I was given the package.
Oh, now I see 3 Québécois. Oh là là, c'est long.
Nous, on
alors,
parle français maintenant.
voyons.
Ok, d'accord.
C'est un petit peu trop, hein?
Non, c'est jamais trop des Québécois.
Bonjour tout le monde.
S'il te plaît, est-ce que tu peux continuer de faire la cuisine, s'il vous plaît?
Oui, cuisiner, Christian. Kochen.
We put it next after the basil is olive oil. I do this after feeling, but some people can say you do at least 3 or 4 spoons, actually, big spoons of olive oil. Then I use Bianco Condimento, that is balsamico vinegar, basically, but the white one, because the black one doesn't suit the color, actually.
Or red. I've never seen black, but I've seen red. I have red balsamic in my
The red won't work because then it gets a brownish color. That's why you need to use the white, because otherwise it doesn't look nice. But it tastes better with the red, actually, by the way. And so I'm doing this without how do you call it,
Pine nuts.
because I've got somebody eating this who's allergic against it. Usually you would put pine nuts in there, and another ingredient which is mainly in there is this Parmesan cheese. So what I bought is a nice piece of Parmesan cheese.
Oh,
Wir können ja das schenken und da einfach.
You just break it up actually and throw it in there.
Christian, I have an emergency. I'm improvising.
Okay, how are you improvising? Tell me.
I'm improvising. My kids ate all the raspberries.
Ah,
Do you have
So
any frozen fruits?
we have some wild strawberries in the garden, which I just
And I
collected,
thought
so
you were
I'm-
going to drive to McDonald's.
Excellent. No, with strawberries. That's no problem.
Nee, das existiert.
So,
And by the way,
How
we
much
are
garlic?
recording all this, so we will put this in LinkedIn tomorrow, not just in the. What is
now
this?
we are getting it through. I don't know how this is called in English, actually. I forgot to look it up.
what?
blender? Is it blender or something?
A blender, yeah, that's the name. So use the blender, make it small.
Thick blender, actually.
Shit, my oven is faster than your cooking faster. cooking.
I think that's the same sound if somebody who murdered you is just squeezing your bones. I think it's exactly the same sound.
So can I add pine nuts?
Daniel.
I will add pine nuts. I'm not allergic.
Okay, well, that's good.
I think, Kristen, you are on mute. We cannot hear you anymore.
I'm not on mute.
Alles klar, ich hab den angeschrieben.
So the texture of this is very thick, and that's what I like about cooking. You always have to complement with alcohol, and that's why I asked you white wine. The white wine I started drinking actually before cooking.
Can you hear me?
Enter that now into actually what you have in the sauce to get a more thinner, because it's more like a vinaigrette. That's the bit difference from an old pesto, which needs to be thick. White wine. So I just pour a bit in there, and then I mix it again. Yeah,
How's your finger? Hey, are we going to add cheese to the? Are we going to add Parmesan to the pesto?
I already added Parmesan. You didn't get that. I'm sorry.
No, I told you my kids ate the raspberries. I was out in the garden plugging some
Okay,
strawberries.
no.
But
So-
I can clearly now see the difference to all the other Virtual Happy Hour. Only two guys are talking and the rest are just watching. That's a bit the challenge for the next one. How
Well,
to
the
the
makes
other.
it
Quite stressful to talk and cook.
Well, basically, you're right. In a normal pesto, you have thyme, you have got basil, you've got olive oil, and you do, of course, also Parmesan cheese. I added this as well. But you need to be careful in this case with the Parmesan cheese because it's got a very, very strong taste, and it might kill the taste of the raspberry, which you don't want. So be a bit less than in a normal pesto, Marco, because you are the only one cooking. And if you like it a bit spicy, add a few more red peppercorns actually to it, which I'm just currently doing.
Hi, Lisa, we are cooking.
blah, blah.
It looks like two murders are just trying to. It's similar. Yeah?
Similar, but one's more pink because of the white strawberries versus the raspberries.
Could be the case, yeah, but that's the color. Now you can see it.
It's beautiful. So, but where in the recipe does it say Parmesan?
Pardon?
Where in the recipe does it say Parmesan? I don't see. I'm looking, I think, at the recipe.
There you go.
After the pine nuts.
After the pineapple, I put Parmesan there.
I think I'm looking at an old version.
Lisa, you are good. We cannot hear you.
Is this some sort of like online Airbnb experience? We're trying to
I'm cheating
like,
a bit now.
test market.
No, for all the people who are on diet, we are just cooking for them.
So I called you, Daniel, my happy hour, but you weren't around.
But when was that one?
Remember I called you at about 10 o'clock your time? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Possible. Please, next time, call me. I'm now standby all the time. I will not move 1 centimeter anymore.
Lisa B, what time zone are you in?
I'm in Atlanta, so it's 1:23.
Okay, so we're in the same time zone. I'm in Montreal.
Oh, nice. Are you with IBS or are you?
I'm formerly with Air Canada for 19 years.
Wow, we love Air Canada at IBS software.
We do actually.
Dan mentioned that you have an office in Montreal. I had no idea.
Well, that's recent, right? We didn't have one so long ago. Otherwise, we would have seen more of you, I'm sure.
Okay, Daniel, who's that guy standing behind you? This is kind of weirding me out.
This is a very famous German cook. He has a
Oh.
TV show. And
Okay.
he has an interesting format. It's like he is battling with somebody to create a dish. He's getting kind of a dish. It comes in a package. And then he is required to recook it just by understanding the ingredients.
Marco, go on mute.
Another country that has to travel to this country, has to find the ingredients and so on, and then they're
Marco! Marco!
He can't hear you. He's murdering his food.
I know. Marco! Go on mute.
No, but
I'm cooking.
because
You
you were
need
not
to hear your blender.
you were all not in the call yet. Marco became 50 yesterday.
50?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
just a young Marco.
Yeah.
I'm still young, or you said I look
You're
young?
a sister. I'm going to be 52. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I think that makes me the oldest one here then.
So, Christian, I'm done.
No.
53.
Shut the front door.
Who is
See, I don't believe
53?
it.
Who is 53? No, you're looking like
Look at me.
45. Yeah, exactly.
I look 55. Is that what you said, Daniel?
No.
No, 45. 45.
I was like, say, barely pushing 40, but okay.
I was like, Daniel, you're not a very
No,
good salesperson.
45. I said 45.
So Marco, how far are you?
Sorry?
Continue.
Where's Marco?
Marco, buon compleanno, 50 anno. Anni. Anni.
Oh, plural. Yeah.
Grazie mille. I'm done, Christian.
Okay.
But I'm
so
heavily
let's get to the
improvising.
next- I'm heavily improvising. I know what I'm doing, but what the main ingredient is, and what I want to tell you, what is nice about it, raspberry are a bit tangy. And depending on your taste, the sweet potato usually has a very sweet taste. And when it comes together with the raspberry, it gets actually the right taste it should have. So I suggest not to put any sugar or honey or anything in this. Let it be a bit tangy with the vinegar and the wine. It also is there. And with the sweetness of the potato, it will develop a nice taste for you guys, actually. So
What is the
Now-
recipe? Sorry?
it's a sweet potato salad with avocado on a spinach, how do you call it, bed, and basically with an raspberry, how was the name? Pesto.
Ah, okay.
With
Or
raspberry
strawberry in
pesto.
certain cases.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was a drink. I thought it was a cocktail. I was like, where's the vodka?
No, it's in the
So
invite
is it-
that Daniel
you know-
sent on Monday.
I don't get the
You-
invite. I get the blitzkrieg where he just comes in and sucks me into the vortex.
Yeah. Same here. We have to make
That is the most accurate
can you-
description of
can you read-
that reason.
Can you resend the ingredients? We didn't get it. You're right.
So, Zintra, you know, I think 3 to 4 virtual happy hour formats. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. How do you like this cooking thing?
Well,
Well,
my
fine,
second
thank you.
education is a chef, so I kind of enjoy this a lot.
So we shall do this more often.
Yeah, cook off or a bake off.
I think
Okay.
a drink, like I like the let's do like a cocktail mixologist version too.
Oh, hey, we can teach them your punch, Daniel. That's what we should do, basically. Daniel and I have a cocktail, or he has a cocktail. He drinks all around the globe, wherever we go. Basically, he asks the barman to mix it for him.
Right,
Perfect.
right.
So we know exactly how all the bars around the globe work on that cocktail.
I will. I'm going to share with you the recipe. No problem. If you are going here in this chat functionality, here it is. That's the famous Brighton punch. And
Brighton
interestingly,
punch.
last time in Hong Kong, in the Cathay Pacific Lounge, they made a fantastic one. So it's really cool.
Right?
Okay, let's get to the next step. I've got avocado. I mean, everybody knows avocado. Everybody eats it, especially the women on the call, I bet, to lose weight. And the best trick to get avocado out of it is a big spoon and just go inside.
Mine
And
never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mine
just
never
to
comes out
mention-
that easy.
one of our competitors
Yeah.
is always talking about the avocado principle. And here you see it's very important that you
There it
know
is.
how to manage an avocado, because many people use a knife and then they cut their thumb and then they're in the misery. So that's why avocado principle is not made for everybody. I'm just mentioning this because it's IBS commercial time.
No, actually, there's another way how to do it. When you take the avocado, you just kind of slice it on a glass, and then it even falls into the glass, so your fingers doesn't get dirty.
That's all. That's not really.
Greetings to Iceland. You are a bit late.
I'm sorry, I ran into some troubles.
Yeah, you are
Cheers.
the Chinese, isn't it?
It's perfect timing. The food's nearly done.
You missed
What do
all
we
the
do with the
blend.
avocado? Christian, what do you want me to do with the avocado? Slice it or?
Christian and Mark are still cooking.
You slice it.
If you make business with IBS, we always have somebody cooking for you, Bimbogi. I didn't tell you earlier, isn't it?
What is Marco doing? Marco's doing the same thing he's doing?
Yeah.
What? Except for he doesn't have raspberries, he's using white strawberries.
But the thing between Italians and Germans is Italians always using their hands and Germans using technology. That's why it's looking differently.
So if those people, they don't have anything valuable to say, could shut up for a moment, please. And I could communicate with the, while I am communicating with the chef. I'd be very grateful.
Okay,
People
Christian,
say they're
Marco needs.
enthusiastic and positive, and hey, Marco, we are the only ones who are cooking. See, that's what it's about. This virtual happy hour. Actually, I would have expected more people to join us. So
yeah, but we just like work. I mean, watching other people's work is a pleasure.
that's the most.
I love a man in the kitchen. Thumbs up for me.
I see.
Okay, I've sliced the avocados.
Schneid die Avocado einfach in schöne Scheiben, damit du das dann zum Dekorieren auf den Teller dann legen kannst.
I think he just cursed you out, Daniel, but I'm not
No.
sure. I'm kidding.
Okay, we're exchanging some hidden codes now for the next moves. Yeah.
Rich, are you taking notes?
So basically we can start now with the decoration, which I'm doing now. So I'm doing 2 dishes, a bit deeper dishes, and I will lay them out with actually spinach.
Okay.
So just a bit nicer, I will take off the leaves, but I just take the leaves and just put them into the dish. And I cut this off.
Lisa,
Spinach, yeah, it's a very nice salad,
that's
actually. Not people eat it like that.
how do you know when an avocado is ripe? Anybody?
You don't. That's my guess, at least.
So it's a guess?
Squeeze it.
There's just 2 states, whether it's not ripe or already dead. That's my take on avocado.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to buy them.
Just buy enough. That's what I always do. Just
They're
have
so
enough, and like
expensive,
must
though.
be 1 or 2 that are fine.
And eventually, 'cause, one of my friends had a Belgian family, in-laws, and one of the things she used to make before every dinner was half an avocado with a vinaigrette that was balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and Dijon mustard. It was the simplest thing. You whip it up in a jar, put it on.
I make that all the time. I love that. That's my favorite go-to dressing.
It's so simple.
So a bit like a bed of a flower, like the leaves, because what we will do is with the avocado and the sweet potato, as soon as it's ready, we'll arrange them a bit like a flower. So this looks very nice, actually.
This is
Because
perfect.
it's not only the taste, but also the eyes which eat with us, actually.
Wenn du sie lang genug im Ofen hast, sieht keiner, dass es keine Süßkartoffeln ist.
Oh, they still have time, mine, so I have no problem.
Marco, do you want to share some information about yesterday, how you were spending the day, how many drinks you had, how many guests, and so on?
We're in lockdown. No, so I had my brother, my younger brother, his wife, his daughter of 18 months staying over. And then some, and my daughter just reminded me, and their dog. It's a little bit like one of those one of those dogs that MG has. And then in the evening we had neighbors coming over because they were smelling the barbecue and the free wine, and then you always win popularity contests when there's something for free. So that's how I ended the night ended at 1:30. My wife, my lovely family in bed, and me cleaning up the kitchen the way it should be.
Always the night, and then you don't have to touch it in the morning.
And when I woke up in the morning, breakfast table was set. And then I rounded off last night's recovery with a nice nap in the afternoon.
Okay, so what I usually do now, this is prepared, and what I start with is to do a few flakes of Parmesan on it as well.
Underneath?
Just push.
I need one of those.
Why are you doing that underneath and not on top?
To have a basis, it will come on top. The interesting thing is because the sweet potato is hot, and what happens with spinach, it goes together actually, and it gets another.
Oh no!
So now we are stuck.
Come back. Oh.
Christian, I peeled an onion. Was that in vain? Can I use that onion?
I don't use the onion. I don't know what you use it for.
Well, I'm not looking at the recipe, so I'm just doing freestyle. Okay, so I'll keep it. But I added a bit of this.
What is that?
It's a habanero pepper.
Oh. Wow. Oh, you didn't get my alternative. I'm using red peppercorns.
You know what? I know I'm picky, but I'm not a big fan of red peppercorns.
I love them. And when you got them on the salad, they are a bit crunchy and they are not too hot. I like it.
Christian,
they're a bit crunchy,
where's your head? Where's your head, Christian?
I agree they're crunchy,
yes,
but if I want crunchy stuff, I eat potato chips or crisps.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. We could use some potato chips and put it on top actually. So what I do now is actually I arrange the avocado as well on top.
So Finnbogi, any update from Play Air when you're going to operate? Because everybody's opening and you can fly, and Italy is even opening, and Germany is going on vacation, and what's going on?
And Greece too.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to tell you, but the Chinese have forbidden me to do so.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, la, 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 la. So you have also now 5 stars on your all aircraft?
Yes, we have 5 already. I'm sorry about the kids. That's why I was delayed. I have 2 of them.
So you are the first Chinese airline in Europe then?
I wish that would mean that we would be properly funded.
What's next? Christian, what's next?
Auf the salad bed, what you do next is basically you take the avocado and put it on the bed of spinach.
I've done that already, my friend.
So still no update, Finnbogi.
We are ready. That's all I can say for now. And we're just waiting for the right opportunity.
Good, good.
Der hat ein kleines Kind, der Finnbogi hat ein kleines Kind, aber der Finnbogi hat ein kleines Kind und hat jetzt auf Mute gestellt, damit wir das kleine Kind nicht mehr hören. Aber das Problem ist, wir hören ihn auch.
Ich habe jetzt 2 kleine Kinder.
Very good.
Natürlich.
Dann haben wir ja Glück gehabt, dass wir nicht blöde Sprüche über seine komischen chinesischen Lieferanten gemacht haben.
Okay, I'm lost.
Finnbogi, we have a very famous song in German. It's 3 Chinesen mit dem Kontrabass liefen.
Saßen auf der Straße und erzählten sich was. Da kam die Polizei. Was ist denn das? 3 Chinesen mit dem Kontrabass.
Oh, no, this one. It's a very is a very.
My favorite German is Lili Marlene.
Yeah, but sorry, Lili Marlene. But let me check.
I have a Lily lying on the sofa next to me. That's my daughter. But her last name is different, of course. Christian, I'm done with the avocados. What do you want me to do next?
What happens now?
I took the sweet potato already out of the oven, which you can do as well.
I've done that as well.
And then arrange it on the plate.
Can we see a picture?
Yeah, tip your Christian.
Can we see
Tip your
Can we see the
computer
finished?
Both will be there.
better.
Bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Little more.
So, Finn Boogie, you have the song now on YouTube, especially for you. 3 Chinese with a contrabass.
Can't wait.
It's a children's song, and the thing is that it goes through different.
Is it like
in every verse you
the wheels
use
of the bus? The wheels of the
you
bus
emit a
go
different
around.
vowel.
The plate.
So shall we learn it for next week?
And a few red peppercorns. Then I do more parmesan on it as well.
More parmesan.
Lisa, you look like you're not very convinced about this dish.
I
What would
can't
be
see
your
the
preferred
dish.
dish next time? We do whatever you like to eat.
I want to see Marco make some homemade pasta.
Homemade pasta, like a real Italian scene.
I could do some homemade sugo.
Adesso, avanti, avanti, eh?
Avanti, avanti, dai.
Sì, sì.
Presto. I can do some homemade sugo. I'm not a big believer in homemade pasta, to be honest, because
No?
if you buy good pasta like Roma or De Cecco,
Yeah.
no big difference in my book. But the sauce, yes, that is critical.
And you know that he lives already for a very, very, very long time in Germany, so he is not a real Italian.
Sorry, my internet went, but the dish is done.
Oh, let's have a look.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow, that
Oh.
looks good.
Can you
Looks
please?
really good.
Can you please now share these nice dishes with us and the plates that everybody can have a bite?
I will do it.
Can you manage
Of
this?
course.
Wunderbar.
It looks really, really lovely.
And so who are you dining with, Christian? Who's that? Who's the other plate for?
Nobody special. It's actually my father and my mother. She's got diabetes and she's got a testing going. She's not allowed to eat anything.
Oh,
Well, that's
no.
a pity because I'm looking after my parents at the moment due to COVID-19, and they have a well-equipped kitchen at the moment, which I don't. So, I didn't happen to be. I would have had to go to Frankfurt because at the moment I'm not directly in Frankfurt. I'm outside, 30 kilometers.
Mm-mm.
So,
What's that dish called, Christian? Has it got a name?
actually, it's a fusion dish, and it's done by an English cook. He does it in 15 minutes. I don't know how he does it in 15 minutes, but he does it. It's one of his 15 minutes dishes.
Jamie Oliver.
And it's sweet potato salad on a spinach bed with avocado and a raspberry pesto. That's what it is.
Oh.
Easy, fresh, and it feeds you. I mean, basically, it's a nice summer dish in the evening you can have together with a glass of white wine, which I will do now.
No, that's great.
So mine looks different, but now comes my confession. Because of last night, I didn't manage to go shopping. So it's not, I blamed my kids, but I never had raspberries in the first place, right? Also, I don't have spinach, which is why I use salad. And the sweet potatoes are regular potatoes, which I fried in the oven so that they became almost as golden. And because I don't have any strawberries or raspberries, to give it some color, I've used red onions, but that didn't really work as much as I wanted. And I have some chili.
Improvise.
So you basically improvised the whole dish.
Yeah, exactly. How many ingredients, Marco, do you have actually from the original recipe?
And my son hasn't even tried or tasted it.
The plate.
It's very dry. It's very dry. Okay, so I'm adding more of this pesto, but then of course, because my pesto is with pine nuts and cheese and no raspberries. It's brownish. So, left the building, it looks like.
Oh yeah, where is he?
Ah, you know what? I'm gonna do some.
Oh, nice.
The wine looks good. It's just a little early still.
But Lisa, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Always, right? I wish Peter was on board with that idea.
Why, he's not on board this call, so good ideas.
So I wish everybody good appetite.
Christian?
Nice.
Bon appetit.
Christian?
Oh,
Bravo, Christian. Thanks a lot. And I'm sorry I let you down. I didn't go shopping. I didn't have raspberries. I didn't have sweet potatoes. I didn't have spinach.
I've heard it. It's no problem. I mean, I'm enjoying myself. Whoever doesn't do.
Ooh, that looks good.
But again, Christine, you were already also in a Virtual Happy Hour. Is this something we should repeat more often, or is it too challenging because it's difficult to somehow accommodate that not maybe everybody is cooking, or what do you think?
For the
I
best,
like the con- I like
mine
the
is
cook. I like
dedicated.
full cook.
So mine, with thanks to Christian, I'm going to dedicate mine to the best wife on this planet
Oh.
and the most fantastic
Oh,
young
bravo.
kids. Oh, my
Because
daughter
we
just
were
said,
thinking to make a
turning into
book club
philosopher.
or karaoke now in the future, cooking. Yeah, because that's easier. Everybody can sing, but maybe not everybody can cook.
What I will do after this? What I will do after
Everybody
this?
can cook, Daniel.
Not everybody can sing, for sure. I know.
Exactly, I'm with you.
Well,
I
everybody
will
can
write down
sing.
what to do.
Not everybody wants to hear me sing.
That's
There's
true.
a
But on
difference,
the other hand, I
right?
think it can be easy to combine.
You
If
can
you
all
drink something and
forth
then you
music.
sing, it's easier than you drink something and you have to cook. That might interfere, maybe.
And I cooked yesterday too. I should have waited till today.
So you want to cook sometime for us next time, Christine?
I can make, I make the same thing every week. I make chili every single week. I could do that while I could put I had difficulty because I no longer have a Microsoft Teams account. So I had to load Teams onto my iPad, which is about 8 years old, and figure out how to get Teams going. Like I don't have some of the same functionality, but I stick the screen in my kitchen window and cook and chat with you guys. That would be lovely. Oh, that looks so good, Marco.
But then how about?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my dinner
wow,
now.
that's more like it.
I got distracted by the beautiful red meat.
How about to combine forces then? You make your Canada presentation and you cook, because next time Ladenka is doing Mauritius and Montenegro country presentation, and you could make the cooking and country presentation on the same day.
To be honest, I don't know if I want to make a whole presentation about my country. That sounds like homework.
Okay. You can sleep one night over and then think about it, and you get back to me.
Ease into that.
I don't want to put pressure on you, of course.
Thank you. Yeah. That's one in my head right now, so no pressure
good.
would be great.
Next week we have Netherlands and we have Iceland. Finnbogi, I hope you are not missing Iceland. Aina is going to present Iceland next Thursday.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, Wednesday on the 8th, right? No, wait a minute. There's something on the 8th as well.
Yeah, you have plenty of invitations. If you want to be invited for the country presentation, you have to use your thumb, because you have to either press the button for like, or you have to use your fingers for commenting something. We try to involve the people. It's not just sitting and waiting.
But that's a lot easier.
Well, to be fair, Daniel, you're very prolific on LinkedIn. I try to follow everything you're doing and read all the articles. And I don't want to be like a stalker or anything, but yeah, I'll keep liking. And Marco, I opened up your presentation that I think it was only posted recently from April 24th. Crisis and Opportunity. I'm going to read that after.
That is very esoteric. That's really a masterpiece.
Well, I was a technical writer for 18 years, so I love reading masterpieces.
Then it's exactly the right thing for you. When Christian is speechless, that's usually not the case. But maybe me, because he has the mouth full of food. Huh?
All right,
No,
guys.
I'm enjoying
Ready for
that.
my 2 o'clock?
Actually, I have to learn cooking.
Lisa, it was a big pleasure having you with us.
vegetarian.
Hopefully you join us soon again.
Ciao.
Got at 2 o'clock. See you later.
Ciao.
Better go and get some food. Bye. Well done, Christian.
At least
Bye-bye.
I made you hungry, Charlie.
Certainly did.
Enjoy.
Bye.
So you see, the American region is very bam, bam, bam. They have to go out and then they have to go to a meeting. This very
Well-
military style there in the US.
Your German character should appreciate the fact that they want to be on time for their meetings, no?
Absolutely. I'm totally appreciating this.
Christian, my wife discovered the habanero, and she is just wondering why you asked me to put so much habanero into this.
I didn't ask you to do so.
That was you, Marco. You volunteered that part.
And
No.
you are eating both plates or just one?
I'm done. I love this dish.
Very good, very good.
You have to back me up, because happy wife, happy life.
But
Happy life.
this time, Christian, maybe you have an iPad and an iPhone?
Yeah.
So maybe you log in twice and then you put the iPhone from the side angle and the other one, and then if you're moving around, because then we see both, and that's putting more dynamics on this.
Is that possible?
I'm not that
You can
optimistic
log
that I will
several
do it
times.
again, because honestly, actually, the intention was more interactive. Would have been more fun if the people would have bought the stuff and cooked. That's about it, actually.
So my
I'm missing internet connection. Oh.
I will now show this to.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, this was a bit of, did this the first time, and I wasn't thinking about the camera angle and everything.
No,
because,
but
you know, when you
No, it was beautiful.
We are just starting, yeah. So look, Finnbogi, now you should see me twice.
All right.
No, I'll see you once.
You not see me twice?
I can see the dishwasher.
That's Marco.
So that's Marco's dishwasher.
My kitchen is almost clean,
Oh, yeah.
Christian. How about yours?
Don't want to see it. I have to get cleaning it up now, otherwise I will be killed, I think.
That sounds quite final.
Christian, I apologize for cheating on you with the ingredients, but I absolutely enjoyed it and my wife likes it. Now, I'm not sure whether that is testimony to your
Marco,
recipe or my cooking skills.
You know what we will do once? I will cook this for you guys once when you come to Frankfurt.
Very good, very good.
No, we'll do a cooking shootout. We did that actually when in my Saber days once. Oh, my wife's complaining, not enough potatoes.
No, you know Daniel. Daniel always, I took him to a steak place in Frankfurt because Daniel is very picky on the restaurants, and the restaurant he wanted to go to wasn't or couldn't give us a table. So we went to this restaurant. He liked it, but there's a place in Frankfurt where you can basically rent the kitchen. So what we will do next time, actually, when you guys are there, you will cook a dish, Daniel. Marco cooks a dish, and I cooks a dish for everybody. And we will see how good you are. No, but as long as Daniel brings the wine along, I'm happy. Actually, he's got an excellent wine taste. So, and
So we had in my Saber days, we had a cooking shootout or a tiramisu competition between me and my colleague. And
Marco, sorry, what does Saber stands for?
Semi-automated, but really expensive.
Ah, okay, good to know.
That's brilliant.
I think that's an acronym. That's a synonymous acronym. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's common. I mean, that's common. I mean, it's not funny because Pakistan Airlines aircraft crashed. But you know what PR stands for?
Yeah.
What?
Please inform Allah.
Oh boy.
That's a bad one. Or India, for example, is Allah informed?
AI. You know what Alitalia is?
Yeah, come on, tell us.
Always late in takeoff, always late in arrival.
Oh dear.
You know what TAP Portugal is?
No.
Take another plane.
And you know what Liat in the Caribbean is? Luggage in another terminal. And you know what Sabena was?
Loads of acronyms actually which are changed, so we can talk about.
Sabena? Such a bloody experience, never again.
Yeah.
You know, people in the industry work very hard on their on-time performance and the aircraft turn. It's a very difficult thing.
No, if they're using our system, it's not difficult.
Oh, really?
By the way, you know what Lufthansa is? You know
what is Lufthansa?
Let us beep. The hostess has no steward available.
I didn't know that.
So Daniel, is all of this being recorded and posted on LinkedIn? Because I'm thinking perhaps this last part you might want to leave off of.
I don't know. Why not? It's
hey Daniel,
we're just human beings, no machines, huh?
Yeah, but a couple of things too
We're
soon.
not that political.
Not everybody can laugh.
Okay, so okay, I will only take the 10 minutes. I can only post 10 minutes. That's the thing in LinkedIn. Yeah, I think that's saving everybody's life now.
I think
Just
so.
don't post the last 10 minutes though.
For those of you who are gainfully employed, I'd like to keep you that way because you might come in handy to me someday. So.
Yeah. I thank you very much, Christine. That is very, very nice from you. Thank you.
But I heard today that your package you get basically a year's salary and it's being paid until you are 65.
Not the 65 part because I'm not that old.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
17 years and up. It's 52 weeks. And then I noticed yesterday, I hadn't read, I've only gone through part of the 14-page document because I can take bite-sized pieces of really tough information at a time. So because of my age, because I'm over the age of 50, I get an extra 4 weeks. So I have 56 weeks, which made me breathe easier. But 56 weeks is going to go by quickly. It really will.
How old are you now?
I will be 52 in a few months.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, I wouldn't believe that.
You're kidding, actually.
I know. When I turned 51 last summer, my sister said, "It's okay, Mommy, you're 15 backwards," because all of my colleagues say that although I can be very serious, as I showed a few minutes ago, you don't have to be serious all the time in life. And sometimes it's good to laugh and, and include a little bit of joy in your daily life. Because as we all know,
bring this Benjamin Button syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Benjamin Button.
Well, I used to say to people, the longer Air Canada, the younger that they looked. So if I could have lasted a couple of years longer, I'd look like I was 35.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's true. Benjamin Button syndrome.
But you're always just 18. The rest is charm. So.
Well, see, 18 is too old for me. By my behavior, sometimes my 16-year-old is more mature than I am half the time. So let's go with 15. But yeah.
Well, that works. It just means you have more charm.
I'll take that.
Oh.
Can you pronounce your name for me properly?
Yeah, it's Zentra.
Zentra.
Yes.
Now that's a challenge to pronounce the name. That's really.
And I have a name that is easily pronounced. But misspelled and mispronounced all the time. So I'm very conscious of wanting to say people's names properly. I think it's important.
I'm just okay with anything that works. Basically, if people are starting to stutter, I know that's me.
DZ. Not sure about the rest.
Yeah, it actually means amber. So.
Oh yeah.
Then Boogie, you are not sitting outside today. What's going on?
Don't want to talk about it.
Is it bad weather?
Yeah. Well, it's not that bad actually. It's just not as sunny as it has been for the last couple of days and weeks. It's just
Here
regular
too.
cloudy. What you would expect in Iceland, I guess. It's not too bad. It's just a typical like Frankfurt weather or Berlin in the afternoon.
But you don't have any
You are not based
patients anymore, isn't it?
based in Iceland.
Is it now that the virus is contained in Iceland?
Yeah, I think we have exactly 2 persons still confirmed COVID positive. And they are and have been in quarantine, so hopefully they haven't infected anyone else. This all sounds like really easy because we're a small country, and sure, yes, of course, it does help a lot. On the other hand, like we're quite proud as a nation that at least from what we have, like our data and intelligence says per 1 million, like everyone is comparing to statistic per 1 million, even though we're only 360,000 or something. I think we have the highest rates of tests performed globally. So
but that's an interesting topic. I was just talking with somebody because you have how many? 360,000 citizens?
Yeah.
But you are now planning to have 3 airlines. Germany has 83 million. We have only 1 airline. How does it go?
It is actually, that alone is actually quite an interesting topic because Iceland is very aviation driven in general, and we're quite dependent upon it. We can easily run, like, at least from the nation's perspective, we could easily have around 50 aircraft operating to and from Iceland with multiple departures every day, primarily because of cargo export and also import, and for commuting purposes, hence the hub and spoke concept. That means actually we would be, yeah, I don't know what the rate would be per capita or per million, but I would say it's quite significantly higher than elsewhere. We have, I think, 3 domestic airlines. They are not very sustainable, to be honest. But one of them is over 50 years old. They have like 4 jet streams and I think 1 Dornier. Then, of course, we had WOW Air, which we are basically copying that. I mean, we're all ex-WOW Air established in play, so that will be more or less a copy paste, except without all the faults. Icelandair is just an old airline, and then we have Bluebird, which is a cargo company recently acquired by Avia Solutions. So that will probably be moved to Latvia sooner than later, amongst with everything else that is run by the airline.
You also bought Chapman Freeborn.
Yeah, it's the same company.
Yeah.
And yeah, last but not least, we have Air Atlanta, Icelandic, but they don't operate to and from Iceland. I think they have tens of. Sorry if you can hear her; she's having a laugh.
That's fine.
That's why I was late.
Happy.
I was waiting for my.
That's how you're slaughtering an elk, isn't it?
Yes, an 18-month elk. Watching little baby birds.
But it's interesting that. So, what is Icelandair going to do? Are you still operating?
Yes.
I have a commercial interest because we've got an RFI going with you guys. But it's anyway. It's a cargo RFI basically.
I'm quite sure, to be honest, that Icelandair will be bailed out by the government to some extent, but not without limitations.
Okay.
Like the government will require a substantial
stake.
Exactly, and I'm not sure the other investors are willing to give it up. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it actually ends and who ends up owning it, or if they will actually survive through the summer, to be honest. And like, I mean them all the best. It's just that I think they've made too many mistakes over the last decade or 2. The primary one is not going for Sabre instead of IBS or flight planning system wise, or not even the union contracts, who are probably some of the best ones in the world. They're really, really well paid, but their fleet, what do you call it? They will probably be the only passenger 757 operator by the end of this year in the world.
757.
Oh, they're still flying those. Wow.
Yes, and that's going to be like the DC-3 by the end of this year. You can take pride in operating the 757. Well, they have the 76 as well, but it's sort of going the same direction. And also, well, they did make a plan to phase them out, but they went for the 737 MAX. That didn't really go well for them. So I would say their fleet strategy is what will kill them if they won't make it through the year. But I hope
so they have 5 7s, they have 3 7s obviously that are grounded. And what other kind of aircraft do they have?
7-6.
Okay, so Air Canada just stopped flying I think the last 6-7 flew today. They were going to do that a year ago, but when the MAX got grounded, they had to put that aside along with the E190. So those are gone as well. And then if I'm not mistaken, of the baby bus, they're getting rid of the 319. So 757. How old are those aircraft?
I think the youngest one is from 2003, so not even the latest model. I mean, they stopped manufacturing them in 2004.
Okay.
But the
no one cares, but this is what makes the sound.
The 767 is seeing a new renaissance, actually. There's an Israeli company who converts them into freighters, and they just converted 3 of them, and the market is desperate for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
absolutely. Just because an airline stops flying them, another airline can take the opportunity to either convert them to cargo only, or like they did, they converted 3 777s and a 330 at Air Canada as cargo only. They've flown over 1,000 flights with that, which I thought was brilliant.
I mean, what Emirates did with a 777-300ER, they moved 60 tons on cargo on a passenger aircraft, doing the exact same thing. So they had about 20 tons in the belly and 40 tons up in the
passenger cabin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was interesting when they first started doing that is a lot of people didn't realize the juggling act at the weight and balance at the load factor for within the cabin. Some people in the company didn't understand that you can't just load the cabin to the gills, right? That'd be great, because they're thinking, well, why is it so empty? No, it's a delicate balance, and it was a really fun puzzle for the weight and balance folks in the SOC, in the Systems Operations Control.
You know, the funny thing is when I did my degree in airline administration, I learned how to balance an aircraft, and they usually count a seat per 80 kilos. But the thing is, if you've been in the business, and we had once the case actually when I worked for Malaysian Airlines, where we were moving, I think nearly 30 tons in the belly actually on the 777. And what we did actually on takeoff, we told the business class to sit back in the economy. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got the allowance to start the aircraft. So we did this. So that's true. I mean, it also changes the mean aerodynamic chord in a certain way. You need to really balance the aircraft. So I think that the systems are not ready to do so. But what I would have done, I would have kept the seats and put 80 kilos on each seat, actually. So
a couple of airlines did that. They kept their seats, but the Air Canada opted just to rip them all out, and the aircraft that weren't flying anyway, right? Yeah. Which was good, but it also created a bit of a controversy in the company because they didn't use internal line maintenance or cabin maintenance qualified personnel. They outsourced that work of the reconfiguration of the cab. Yeah, they did the engineering work in-house, obviously, but yeah, but I mean, I don't envy, I know some of these people so well. I don't envy them the decision. You know, you make a decision, you go for it, and if they end up converting others, they can simply bring the work back in-house. So it's a balancing act.
I mean, having my heart in cargo, I remember my days working for EFA Airways where we had combis, and they were amazing aircrafts. And actually, we would
twice 2 combi aircrafts. Yeah. Why is it that some like Air Canada, they did it twice, 2 attempts at a combi business. Both of them were just deemed not profitable. I mean, I think the last one was before CCAA in 2003, so that's understandable. But explaining it like you're explaining to a 3-year-old, what is the main difficulty in maintaining combi aircraft and not maintaining?
The funny thing was, again, on the 747, it was the engine and the usage of fuel in the engine. With a combi, you were using definitely more fuel, but now the engine technology has improved tremendously, and actually with the new engines, the combi could see a real new renaissance because it wouldn't affect that much on the fuel. Actually, that's anyway the main reason. What we are seeing, that the 747 will be phased out at a certain point because the double engine is actually the way to go. But that was the main key. Actually, the engines were not ready actually to facilitate this. And of course, you know, when the combis were still flying, actually, that was when the downturn of cargo started. When, you know, when the passenger capacity or the belly capacity was rising that much, so the air freight rates were dropping tremendously. So you saw tremendous downturn on revenues actually. But but that's the funny thing. I mean, a lot of big carriers, you know, okay, Lufthansa kept their freighters, and they moved then to I think they just last year they phased out the last MD-11, but and went with 777s. But the thing was actually, I think a lot of carriers like Air France KLM or Martin Air, which were known actually for the freighters, carriers like Cargolux and Airbridge Cargo, they were surviving because they were basically offering the main deck capacity, and that was underestimated. I mean, if you take air cargo as such, usually you fly consumer electronics, pharma stuff, you only need a belly. But there's a lot of project shipment actually for oil rigs or other stuff actually where you need main deck, and basically these carriers like Airbridge Cargo or NCA or Atlas, Kalita, you name them, actually, they have found their niche. And I think they will see a big, tremendous rise now in the coming days, actually, because the passenger airlines who don't have main deck capacity, they are not able to feed into the need, actually, which comes from the market. I mean, we are talking to several main deck carriers. They are telling us they are earning a fortune at the moment.
I'm not sure. Are we going to post the first 10 minutes from the cooking event, or are we posting this extra talk of air cargo operations? I'm not quite sure. What?
Choose from. You have so much to choose from now, Daniel. What are you going to do?
Why we can post both? No problem. 10 minutes cooking, 10 minutes air cargo.
At least I would go with Kristen's comment. Like those 10 minutes we were discussing acronyms. I think we should leave that out at least.
I love the acronym part. I think it was
I love them. Just don't post them on LinkedIn.
And there's even more. I mean, there's, you know, name for Stuart. There's this trolley dolly, and there's more too.
Yeah, my mom was a customer service agent. She's heard them all.
Okay.
No, this is something, I don't know. It's quite interesting what's happening at the moment. But what we see, at least in cargo, I mean, the industry has been very reluctant in investing into technology and digitization. I mean, all around the globe, it's paper-based. Last December, I was in a warehouse in Novosibirsk, and it's the Middle Age. The way they do cargo, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you compare it to warehouses like Lufthansa or Qantas in their main hubs, there's 30 years of technology between that. And this is something I think what we definitely will see now coming out of this crisis. Actually, people are rethinking how to do their business, and they need to grow efficiency, automation, and what I think Daniel had in his post. I mean, what do you think? You invest millions or billions into aircrafts, and to buy a good cargo system costs about 10 million. So. And you can generate a lot of revenue. You can automate. I mean, we're seeing this with. Now I'm doing a bit of advertisement. We're seeing this with our clients, basically. I mean, you don't have any paper in a Qantas warehouse in Australia anymore. Same with Lufthansa here. And I mean, we are also talking to you guys actually at Air Canada on these things, and the carriers will have to move that way. They will have
Christine, just to let you know, it was IBS who invented the paperless toilet.
There's a bowel system, or
I can remember this film with, how is he called? Sylvester Stallone, where he goes into the future and there's no toilet on the paper. There's just two muscles.
Demolition Man.
Swearing all the time.
No, it's not no toilet on the paper. You mean no paper in a toilet?
Exactly.
Yeah, Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, that's how it's called. Yeah.
With Dennis Rodman as well.
It's interesting that that Finbogi, you said about the 757s, because I was just looking up. There's a friend of mine who used to be at Air Canada, is the vice president at Cargojet in Ontario, and they have 8 757-200s in their fleet and 13 767s.
Yeah,
So
it's a great conversion actually as a freighter, the 757. I think you can put 8 pallets, main deck pallets in it. It's good.
Yeah, and Icelandair has converted a few of them already to solely cargo. But I think DHL, FedEx, and others, UPS, I believe, they're still using the 75 for cargo. So I think it will be probably the most used cargo aircraft in the world for the next couple of years.
Interesting.
Not as a passenger option. I think that's just gone.
No, so but it's definitely going that way. All 767s and 757s, I think there's a market to convert them, because for a mid-range or short-range freighter, it's amazing actually, that aircraft. And I have heard that they're also easy to trim, so you can get quite some cargo into it. But I don't know, is DHL really stopping that? Because they were using those as feeders between the UK and Europe, for example, for IAG.
For air bridges?
Yeah. As feeder freighters between different hubs, for example. That's what they're using it for.
Yeah, I mean, there will probably be some who leave on occasional 75 in the PAX configuration, but not from a sort of scheduled operation perspective. I'm so sorry. My wife was here. I think it's about time for me to start cooking, and it's 6:15.
Oh my gosh, it is.
I have to start now cleaning up actually.
I have to start cooking and then put them to bed. This was my week on baby duty, so she can work longer.
I have to say that was really an amazing Virtual Happy Hour 5.0. It was an experiment, but I would say it was very funny. And I think based on your feedback, we are going to repeat this.
But in a more professional way.
That she is going to cook us something from Canada.
And I think we have to do more dish with meat, because everybody was happy about this.
From her country. So
right. Hang on.
I'm going to coordinate with you the dates and the recipes. No problem. I'm very happy about this.
Christian, what was that last thing that you said?
I just said I think we need to cook something with meat, because everybody was jealous about the piece of meat our friend was showing. I just wanted to cook something which meets all the dietary requirements of everybody. If we would have left even the Parmesan away, then it would have been a vegan dish actually. So
I will make chili con carne, which is my own version of, I guess, a Canadian recipe, because my grandmother made it forever, and it has meat in it. So there you go.
I can do a good piece of cod, because my grandfather is from Newfoundland, by the way. So
wow,
that's what I would do next.
And Zintra, what do you have in mind as recipe?
I'm a bit worried about this, because I think most of the things that we would consider Latvian cooking is not wildly used around in Europe anymore, like buckwheat and grey peas and things like that. That would be traditional for my country.
But
we'll see.
And Finnbogi, are you going to make cooked or boiled elk? What is your preference?
We don't have elks, but we have reindeers.
I know.
And I do hunt them myself. Not Rudolph, don't worry.
Olaf. You can't cook Olaf. You can't do that.
Olaf tastes so good.
But base condition is that this reindeer had to be earlier washed in the Blue Lagoon. That's somehow the base condition.
No problem. But I could also do another thing, which might be a bit more controversial. I could do
whale. I love it, whale. I've eaten it.
Mink whale.
Perfect. I love it.
Mink whale.
But I think we would have to have a disclaimer for anyone who would join for that.
You know what?
That's just
what I liked eating actually in Newfoundland was seal.
Oh, they're disgusting.
No, it was great meat actually. Seal was good.
Did it taste chicken?
Was the Navy seal?
No. Yeah, we cooked Navy seals exactly. Navy SEAL Team 1.
And the recording stopped just before that.